Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, and this is Business Spotlight. Joining me today is Dino Falvo, who is owner of Amato Gelato in Calgary. Thanks, Dino, for joining us today.
Ciao, Mario. Thank you for having me.
All right, super. Let's talk about some exciting news you have to share with Calgarians. What's happening?
Yeah, it only took me 20 years to get around to it, but finally, we're opening up a new location. Going to be opening up this Thursday at 9 a.m. on the corner of 17th Avenue and 5th Street Southwest, Kinney Court National Beer Hall. It's a brand new building with luxury apartment rentals above, and we've occupied the corner space to be the flagship tenant on this corner. And yeah, we're excited to go, and we're building something very unique and very first time for Calgarians to experience something that we did a little differently than Kensington.
Okay, so you do have this spot in Kensington. We'll talk a little bit about that afterwards, but tell me what this spot here on 17th is going to have.
This one this was my original concept for Kensington 20 years ago. Next year will be 20-year anniversary of Kensington. So 20 years ago, I had this idea. Gelato wasn't present here in Calgary. My idea for building this cafe was to be like a full Italian bar. And a bar is not a disco bar, but Italian bar is espresso bar, pani, small food, liquor, gelato, dolce, pastries, cakes, all that kind of stuff. And I think now with this new location here, what we're trying to achieve is to become Calgary's first really Italian dessert bar. And it's dessert bar. I put a parentheses on that because, we still have 48 flavors of gelato here. We're going to have all of our imported cakes and pastries all directly from Italy. Full cocktail menu, full Italian bar menu, pizza, Roman pizza al taglio like you find on the streets of in Italy. Just walking down the street, you want a nice big slab of pizza. We're not going to weigh it and pay by the kilo like they do in Italy, but we got a walk-up pizza counter with paninis and aperitivo kind of menu during the afternoon. An aperitivo menu is happy hour, but a happy hour in Italy consists from about 2:30, 3 o'clock until about 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. Ours is going to go from 2:30 till 6, and you're going to come in, you're going to order a cocktail, wine, Italian imported beers, and you're going to get a complimentary antipasto. And that could vary from day to day, different salamis, different cheeses, different little aperitivo, kind of little snack food.
All right, super. Tell us a little bit about the history of Amato Gelato. You mentioned Kensington, and for many people that don't know, it's down on Kensington Road, down in the West Hillhurst kind of neighborhood. So that opened, and but you changed the concept there, didn't you, a few years back?
I did, and before we were just very heavy on coffee and gelato, of course, 72 flavors, all the takeout kind of stuff. And then I did a little bit of a revamp. I wanted to bring more pastries into the mix and spice up the menu a little bit with some Italian liqueurs and drinks, pair a lot of liqueurs with the gelato, and that went off extremely well. Then I started to import the pastries directly from Italy, and that was just something people really never got a chance to maybe try unless you went there. So we have really Italian cornetti, sfogliatella, like pistachio ricotta cake, all the tiramisus. So everything's really authentic. So the history goes behind this is that our family's been manufacturing gelato or producing gelato in our hometown of Amato. That's the name of our hometown in Calabria. It's called Amato. It's about 250 people live there. It's on top of the mountain in the middle of nowhere. So if you want to get lost and nobody to find you, it's the perfect vacation spot. But we started over there, and we had a little bar in the town that the family used to make gelato, which is my uncle and that. And so it originated in Amato. And then my uncle immigrated to Canada and started Mario's Gelati in Vancouver in the 70s, which we supply thousands of restaurants in Canada, national chains, independents. And that's what I've been doing in Calgary for the last 20, 25 years. And we actually been distributing in Calgary for over close to 30 years now. And then when we built our new factory in Vancouver in '98, my uncle wanted to pay homage to our town and open up the gelato cafe, like almost like a little version of what we had in Amato. And that was back in 1996 that he had did that at the new factory. But he was having a little storefronts back in the 70s before he opened up the production in Vancouver on Granville Island. And we were one of the first tenants that signed the lease at Granville Island back in the early 70s. And then it kind of just ballooned from there. So then when I started doing the wholesale over here, everybody thought I was selling Jello at first because people weren't familiar with gelato over here. And it was quite interesting. So then my uncle and I decided, we're like, okay, let's open up the store. And we opened up in 2003 on Kensington Road, and the rest is history, so to speak.
Let's talk a little bit about the 17th Avenue location. What, as a business owner, what appealed to you about that location?
To tell you the truth, I never wanted to come down here. It was, I coming from Vancouver, you know, parking is a premium in Vancouver. We did Denmans and Yale Towns and Robsons and this and that. We're very fortunate because we own the property and the building at the factory in Vancouver. So we have underground parking. We had free street parking on the front. And what appealed to me about Kensington is that I have 30 stalls there, all paid free parking in the neighborhood, all that kind of stuff. So that was why I opened up at Kensington. But Franklin Ardelli, the CEO and president of Arlington Street Investments, which owns the building, and he owns a bunch of property around the city. He actually owns the property where Lena's is on Elbow Drive there. And he's been bugging me for years. And he's a good friend of mine that we go way back. And he's knew my vision of what I really wanted to create at Kensington. And my uncle, that's why we didn't do it at Kensington. My uncle thought Calgary wasn't ready at that time for like table service with that kind of gelato and that kind of stuff. So Frank has always been bugging me. And then finally, a few years ago, he had this property here at the 5th on the corner of 17th and 5th here. And he's like, Dino, I want you to take that vision. I want you to create something fabulous over there, what you wanted to do. I think this is going to be a prime time spot for you. Yeah. And he's like, don't worry about the parking. Anybody on 17th Avenue and this kind of stuff, this is a different crowd. When they're coming down here, they're finding parking. Don't worry about that. That's going to be the least of your problems. The problem is trying to keep the people out of the building is my biggest concern, because at Kensington, you know, with the lineup and stuff here. So he had the confidence and trust for what I wanted to create here. And he kind of just sold me on the idea. And one of the big factors was because we are the anchor tenant here and we have the corner space. It took a little bit of finesse with the city, but the city approved us. And I have a 60 person patio that's going to be on the corner as well. So it's going to be the largest patio on 17th Avenue. And then on the front of the building on 17th, we had approved for benches so we can put guests with pets so they can sit down as well. So a lot of being the anchor tenant, being a brand new building with the nice space, it was like a clean blank canvas for me to start from scratch and to be able to build all the stuff with all the equipment we import from Italy, and all the craftsmanship was done in here, was all built custom and all done by hand by Michelle Levesque at Perfect Interiors, who was my designer and contractor here. So I think we hit a home run with this one, and hopefully the summer can't come quick enough so we can start building the patio, because we're about to start building the patio here in the next 30-40 days. So.
All right, super. Well, I'm sure a lot of Calgarians are looking forward to Thursday coming around. Thanks, Dino, for joining us today.
I really appreciate it, Mario. Hope to see you too soon. And thanks, everybody. And I just want to say thanks to all of our customers for the last 20 years. That without you, none of this would have been possible. And having the confidence and in us to continue to make gelato what we do best. So hope to see everybody soon.
All right, super. That was Dino Falvo, who is owner of Amato Gelato. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, and this has been Business Spotlight. Thanks for joining us today.